This great union has seen tremendous growth and progress in the 21st century. Despite tremendous challenges, and as labor affiliations all over continue to decline, this union continues to grow to record numbers. From 219,000 in the year 2000 to just recently topping 317,000 members. Our wide-ranging political influence is a path to protecting our members' lives and livelihoods. This union continues to pave that path, never looking back. It takes vision and leadership to say enough is enough. We're not going to stand back and watch our brothers and sisters die from cancer at higher rates than the general population, and that it's not acceptable for IAFF members, our brothers and sisters, to suffer in silence with PTSD with no place to turn for help. It takes tenacity to leverage the very best technology to analyze and build effective fire and EMS systems that ultimately save lives. It also takes leadership to attract and keep the very best talent in our ranks. This morning, IAFF members across two great nations are protecting the communities they love, doing a job they love. And when they respond to calls today, they are properly equipped, better staffed, and safer than ever before. His vision is the guiding force that makes this happen. Brothers and sisters, please welcome General President Harold A. Schaitberger.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, sisters and brothers. Thank you so much. What a crowd. It's great in here this morning. Yes, I want to welcome all of you, all north of 1,200 delegates and total participation, over 1,500, record-setting Redmond EMS Barbera conference this morning. But I first want to ask everybody to please just keep your thoughts and your prayers as we continue to look for, unfortunately, Local 122 member Brian McClooney, and from my Local 2068 member Justin Walker, who I think, as most of you know, unfortunately have been missing from their boat trip and fishing trip off the coast of Jacksonville since Friday. We've had an incredible search and rescue operation going on. It continues today, and I just want to make sure we're all thinking about Brian and Justin, and let's just hope that that we find them and they'll come home safe. Before I begin my formal remarks, I'd like to take a moment to recognize a great team. And that team starts with my partner, your GST, our General Secretary Treasurer, Ed Kelly. Ed is nothing less than a terrific leader. Is looking out for more than just our union dollars. He's dedicated to each and every one of our members' health and safety on the job, ensuring that they have a rewarding career. And this union is resourced to do just that. He's making that we have the biggest bang for our buck take place so that we can continue to provide the critical resources that protect our members who are out there on the front lines every day protecting their communities. He's assembled an incredible staff. He's brought in the highest quality consultants and advisors. Your $72 million budget is being managed with great care and great transparency, and ensuring that each one of those dollars are invested in all of you, our affiliate leadership, to do your very difficult job. To my union partner, your GST, I just want to say that we are blessed to have you as part of our leadership, and I want to make sure that we thank you for everything you do for this IFF. Ed Kelly. And to our executive board that was introduced a few moments ago in the video, each one a true leader in their own right, each one assuring that our affiliates in our 16 districts receive the services and tools and resources that you need to do that job. Every one of them holds a chair. Many of you have heard me say that over the years. And a chair at the table where this union's future is developed, where our goals are established and the next innovation is advanced, making sure that our top priority is keeping our members safe on the job and giving you, our local leaders, the essential tools you need to keep our members safe. And to our trustees who are entrusted with ensuring our finances and policies are followed precisely to make sure our assets are protected. I am honored to serve with our board and trustees as we work to move the mission of this union forward, saving our members by cutting edge and critical programs. So to our executive board here in the hall and to our trustees, please stand so we can give you a proper thank you for what you do. Thank you, guys. And you know, with all the ideas and the goals and the missions and the priorities and, you know, all the great innovative programs that we develop, this very conference and so many other forums, it takes an incredible staff to actually turn those ideas and goals into the real tools and to the resources in those programs. And the work that goes into not just putting on a conference like this, but the work every day to develop and push themselves to make sure we can push out the door what you need in order to represent our members' interests is performed by nothing less than what I think is the most incredible staff in North American labor movement and maybe just period. So to all of our staff here this week and to those that are not with us here in Nashville, I just want to make sure that we thank you for what you do for this IAFF. Thank you, gang. Nice job. And I also want to acknowledge that, you know, over the years that we've had great partners around the globe, and we have shared ideas. We've shared each of our missions. We've tried to learn from each other how to better do our work. And I'm so proud that we have with us this week, joining us here in Nashville, the UFUA from Australia, Peter Marshall, National Secretary, and Greg McConville, their president, along with our New Zealand leadership, Joanne Waddy-Watson, the Secretary of NZPFU, and their president, Ian Wright. FBU has got some real challenges back home, and we're unable to be with us, but for our global partners who are here with us, thank you, welcome, and everything you do to help us help you too. John P. Redmond, our general president from 1946 to 1957, is synonymous with our union's commitment to improve the health and safety of our members. And that's why this critically important symposium bears his name. But another one of our great leaders who blazed the trail for our profession in this IFF, Dominick F. Barbera, helping us understand and embrace and pursue fire-based EMS, first and foremost, was a union man through and through, getting his first union card when he was 16 years old. He was a charter member and the first president of Bell Harbor, Florida, Local 1844, until they merged with Dade County and Local 1403, and then serving as Metro Dade's local president for nearly 20 years. And his leadership didn't stop there. Dominick was elected in 1984, and for 22 years, he served as the IFF's 12th District Vice President. Simply put, he was a force for and a champion of EMS being the delivery system of our profession. And he fought for that from the very beginning. He helped this union understand the importance and the power of providing EMS services to our citizens and communities, which in turn helped to empower all of us. His commitment and resolve moving this union forward led us to enshrine his legacy by naming our EMS conference after him. Dominick was a trusted friend, a valuable asset, never afraid to let you know how he felt about an issue. He was passionate about protecting our members and fighting on their behalf throughout his career. His love of the job encouraged two of his sons to follow into our profession. And although we lost Dominick last September, I am so honored that we have his wonderful wife, Beverly, here with us today. Beverly, thank you for sharing Dominick with all of us for all those decades. And thank you for being here and being a part of this IAFF family. Your sacrifice was to the benefit of hundreds of thousands of our members over those years, and will continue to benefit us well into the future. We love you. If you would, please stand so we can give you the appreciation and honor that you are entitled to. Beverly Barbera. All right, that's love from a big family, Beverly. Brothers and sisters, this symposium, this conference is about the fundamental basis for the existence of this IFF of ours. It's what's been at the core of this great union from its first convention just over 101 years ago, where our founders wrote into the IFF Constitution that, quote, "We shall provide as safe and healthy a working environment for firefighters as is possible through modern technology," end of quote. And today, together, we move forward to begin our next century of work to ensure our members go home after their shift, safe, emotionally secure, and that they have a prosperous and fulfilling and healthy career. That's our mission. It is the fabric that runs throughout this entire union, keeping firefighters and emergency medical personnel safe, period. And next we'll gather again here in just less than a month in Colorado Springs for another moving and solemn fallen firefighter memorial, where the mournful tones of hundreds of bagpipes will fill the air. And we will honor our fallen. But as poignant as our traditions and symbols are, as we send our best home, this week, here in these halls, we also honor our fallen and pay homage to them by learning from their sacrifice, by pledging to make their profession safer and healthier. Together here this week, we'll take the next steps to reduce the need to read name after name after name within our ranks from being added to those hallowed, beautiful granite walls. This week's forums will help to lessen the number of our members making that ultimate sacrifice, because the critical work at this week's forums will help to lessen the number of our members making that sacrifice. I want each of you who have taken your sworn oath to represent your members to make sure that you know, and you know with pride, that the work that you're doing and the work that you will do and the skills and the information that you'll receive here can make the difference so that fewer of our brothers and sisters are medically disabled or die in the line of duty. That's what this week is all about. That commitment, all of us together, focusing on the causes, the exposures, and procedures that will help prevent our members from suffering horrific occupational diseases and injuries. We'll explore the best equipment, the most effective turnouts, the most current training, the evolving protocols, and the best treatment for our members who are suffering. We'll resource you, provide you with GIS and workload analysis that is far superior to some fairy tale told by staff-cutting, station-closing bureaucrats, and we'll empower you to bring what you learn here back home to your locals, back to your departments, sharing it with your members, your crews, your command staff, and your political leadership to make the changes that are needed to make this great profession safer. This symposium and conference provide the workshops, the general information sessions, nearly 60 hours of instructions, some of the very best researchers, physicians, health and safety, and EMS professionals in the world, spanning many topics, but with one goal in mind. That goal, our drive, is to reinforce your ability to advocate for your members' health, to fight for better, safer conditions, so every IFF member can leave the station after their shift, return home without the negative impact on their well-being that so often comes from the tough work that they do. We know the job is dangerous, and we know it can be perilous. Reality says we can't completely eliminate all of the hazards and risks, but we can sure as hell bend that experience curve. We can reduce hazards and exposures. We can embrace science and technology. And we've made a difference in the past, and we sure as hell can make a bigger difference going forward. This is about life and death. This is about sickness and disease. This is about the security and expansion of our profession. And we need to do what our members do on the job every day. Recognize a risk. Identify a situational opportunity, size it up, develop an action plan, and implement it. And that's what this week is about. It's this symposium and conference where we will reinforce that safety and health is given the same priority as just compensation, reasonable working conditions, enhancing job security, providing secure pensions. Where we'll make expanding our reach and effort to embrace the skills in EMS systems a critical part of the service our members deliver, so that in turn the public and public officials embrace that service and provide them the support that they deserve. As you know, and I've said ad nauseum, so much of what we must do is in the political and the governmental arenas. And so our work has to take place in the state houses, provincial bodies, and the federal government levels in both the United States and Canada. And out of those arenas, just this past year, Montana, Mississippi, Florida, and New Jersey all passed legislation that created cancer presumption laws to protect our members who are contracting occupational cancers at alarming rates. Congratulations, guys. Job well done. Our advocacy pushed Arkansas and Tennessee to pass legislation that makes existing cancer laws stronger and more beneficial to our members who've been made ill on the job from the effects of the job. And congratulations to two of you. Job well done. You know, we take that pride of just this last year and realize that we have established cancer presumption now in 48 states, in 9 Canadian provinces, in 2 Canadian territories. We've created a national firefighter cancer registry to better track our members' incidence of cancers. But as important as those measures and the critical benefits that they provide are, they pale in importance to the efforts to see the scourge of cancer eliminated from our ranks. Being a professional with significantly higher rates, our members are incurring cancers so much higher than the general population. And it shouldn't be a badge of courage or simply accepted as, hey, it's a result of being a firefighter. No. Despite the dangers we face from exposures, I want to see us change the paradigm and have our members experience not only less cancers, but less cancers than the general population. I don't want us just to memorialize our members' cancer diagnoses and deaths. I want this union to continue its journey to keep cancer out of our house, and that's what we're going to do. Our political and legislative efforts haven't stopped at occupational cancer laws because of our focus on the commitment to behavioral health. Just this last year, Connecticut, New Mexico, and Louisiana secured presumption coverage for PTSI. Good work, guys. And that is adding now to the 19 states, 8 Canadian provinces that are providing this coverage, enabling our members who are struggling with the emotional toll of this profession to get the help and benefits and the care that they need. But the more significant issue is that our members don't want to just be guaranteed a retirement due to cancer or PTSI battles. They want to stay on the job. They want not to be afflicted by these health nightmares. And we may be able to help eliminate every risk if we try and try. We may not be able to eliminate every risk, but we can make sure that we provide them at every avenue to get better, to get healthier, and to get back on the job they love, responding to the calls with the crews that they love. They don't want a damn handout. They want to be healthy. They want to work. They want to finish their careers. And that's what this IAFF and all of us have committed to do. And I'm sick and tired of our employers who want to make sure that our members are in pristine health, both physically and emotionally when they're hired, but then make it more difficult to keep them healthy, making it more shameful that our members have to be dying at increased rates of cancers, struggling with PTS and behavioral health co-occurrences, and sadly making the horrific choice of ending their own lives. We got to stop that and turn that around and make sure our employers are helping to keep them healthy during their careers. I'm telling you, it pisses me off that we have to fight to win better protocols and acquire safer equipment. And it's just a damn shame that we have to work so hard to win the presumptions that protect our members when they are sick, and the benefits for the families of those who sacrifice their lives in the name of public safety are questioned. But that, sisters and brothers, is the reality we too often face. We all signed up to make certain that each and every one of our members can be there when their youngest child graduates from high school. That every father is healthy to walk their daughter down the aisle at their wedding. Every mother isn't spending so much time dealing with her occupational illnesses that she misses her grandchild's first steps. That's what this IFF was born to do. That's our commitment moving forward. That's why this Redmond Symposium was created. We're giving it everything we've got to have one another's backs so that when we say stay safe, it's more than just a saying. It is a way of life. That's our charge. That's what we're going to do. And while we work on all those safety issues, while we do all of that work, we also have to turn our attention to growing our job, enhancing our members' skill sets, making them even more indispensable to their citizens. And that's what the Dominick F. Barbera EMS Conference is dedicated to accomplish. to focus on what's become the largest part of the job for many of our members. Emergency medical services, with IFF members now providing EMS for the overwhelming majority of our communities in the United States and a growing part of the job in Canada. It's this week where we'll be featuring classes and workshops on the emerging trends in the field of emergency medicine so that we can make sure that your local has every resource available when it comes to preparing for, incorporating, or expanding EMS in your department's delivery system. As requirements for EMS certifications continue to grow, the IFF is working to make sure that our members have the most up-to-date information on quality programs that give the best training, so that they can keep up the knowledge and the skills that make fire-based EMS the vanguard of the emergency medical response. But our dedication is to more than certifications and book knowledge. It's the practical awareness that our members need to ensure their safety on the streets. Just think back to earlier this month, when our members responded to 2 mass shootings in less than 24 hours. El Paso, Texas, and Dayton, Ohio. And these incidents, unfortunately, are no longer one-offs. For several years now, they're becoming more and more frequent and more deadly. And these are not just police incidents, regardless of the lack of news coverage too often on the work that you're doing. We know these are significant fire EMS scenes, and our members need the best training and equipment available as they put themselves in harm's way to protect their community, including making sure peer support is available after the incident. That's why we scheduled speakers for this conference who will share their experience with mass shooting response, to give each and every one of you the information you need to prepare your departments back home. We're also focused, as the chief mentioned earlier this morning, on the opioid crisis, which is wreaking havoc on the emergency medical system in both the U.S. and Canada, crossing all socioeconomic boundaries, rich and poor, rural and urban, young and old. But one constant in this epidemic is our members answering the call to make a difference. They're the ones on the scene, administering the Narcan, saving lives, and too often being exposed to attacks from the patients that they're treating. And while our countries are developing increasingly more programs to help those in the grips of addiction, we have to hold governments and our employers accountable to ensure that these programs also consider the impact on our members who respond. And we must force our employers to build the protocols that include assistance for our members as the emotional impact of these incidents continue to mount. We must force our jurisdictions to provide the behavioral health resources that start with a recognition of the calls our members run. And when a citizen is trapped in a basement or an upper floor of a fully involved structure, or our members are making a snatch from those environments and pulling them out to safety, or when they arrive on the scene and a child is horribly mangled in a bent and twisted steel of an auto accident, it's our members making those rescues. And they're arriving in the dead of night or the early hours of the morning in every natural and man-made disaster. And it's our members on the front lines of every human crisis, literally bringing victims back to life. Far too many times, those experiences cause emotional hardships, injuries for our members. And while we are pushing our employers to do their part, we're doing ours. And that's why we made behavioral health a top priority for this union. That's why we opened our Center of Excellence, a one-of-a-kind treatment center exclusively available for IAFF members, as a testament to the importance that we have placed on their mental well-being. It's a top-of-the-line facility where the medical and clinical professionals understand the unique aspects of our profession because they've gone through our fire ops. They've done their ride-alongs, and they've spent untold hours working with our members, allowing our center to provide the distinct treatment needed to give them the quality care they deserve. And now with over 900 of our own graduating from that center and returning home on a path of renewed health and self-worth, we can be damn proud of that work. I sure am. I hope you are. We've developed the IFF Peer Support Program, creating teams that provide our members with one of their own who is skilled and trained to talk to them immediately after a traumatic event, or just to reach out to when they need someone who has stood in their boots to lend an ear. And now with over 4,500 peers trained, it's become the largest request for training in our union's history. But we aren't stopping with the center and peer support. We have to also build a resiliency training program that will help our members better prepare for the incidents they're exposed to, so they're able to bend, not break. While the general public sees a fire truck responding with lights and sirens blazing, and they witness the heroic work of our members springing into action, carrying the tools of our trade to the scene, what they don't see is the price our members pay for simply doing their jobs. The trauma our members face on a regular basis, or the nagging injuries that add up over time and that they nurse just so they can continue to go to work every day. The general public will never fully understand the struggle of a firefighter who sits in his car before his shift, contemplating the horrible decision to walk into the fire station for another grueling shift, or finally succumbing to his demons and making the agonizing choice to end his own life. But that's a sad reality that we have. It's happening almost every day in our two countries. The news cameras are there when our members crawl out of smoke-filled windows and stretch more hose into the building to stop the spread of a multi-alarm blaze. But there's no fanfare as that same firefighter has to sit with his young children and tell them that because of that same smoke, their father has cancer and that their lives will never be the same. We don't have to be dramatic. We simply must acknowledge these facts. Our profession is a dangerous one, and it is our job as the IFF to fight for those on the job. This union is a sisterhood. It's a brotherhood. We are many ethnicities, many heritages, many shades. We're straight, we're gay, we're trans, but most important, we're one family, the IAFF family. And as a family, we have a greater obligation to do all that we can to prevent the need to plan for another funeral. We need to share what we learn here this week to make damn sure that we're taking the time and investing our efforts in protecting one another to the very best of our ability. It is imperative that every IFF member who holds an IFF card or has a decal on their vehicle window is confident that their careers, their health, and safety are not just a priority, but our only priority. It's our job. It's your job. It's our combined responsibility. Every one of us in this hall who took an oath swore our duty to each and every member of this IFF to look after them, not just when the next box comes in, or not when they're crawling down a toxic smoke-filled hallway, but every hour of every day, every time they roll out that bay door, to keep them working, to keep them healthy, to keep them alive. I know every one of you will return home, pull your next shift. You're going to jump that rig, knowing your job is to save lives out there. Well, this week, here in these workshops and classes, your job is exactly the same. To save the lives of your brothers and sisters, to keep their names off the black granite walls of our memorial in Colorado Springs, to help them finish their careers and spend more years with their families, to see their daughters' weddings, their son's graduation, their grandchild's first soccer game. Brothers and sisters, we have one hell of a great union. But let's be clear, I'm not the IFF. Ed Kelly's not the IFF. The executive board's not the IFF. No, this IFF is each and every one of us, every one of you in this room, every leader across two great countries. We are the IFF. And standing together, we're ready to attack these emerging threats, to harness the evolving opportunities, and provide our members with the innovative solutions. I know you'll make the commitment. I know you'll do the work. I know you'll make the sacrifice. And I know you're going to make the difference. Our predecessors, those whose shoulders we stand on, they were all in. So the question is, are we all in? Well, I can tell you, by God, I'm all in. Are you? Are you all in? Well, I want to hear you. Are you all in? You damn right we're all in. Working together, we'll make the lives, 317,000 members, the best our nations have to offer. And their families' future will make their jobs safer. We'll be making sure that they come home after their shift. So let's get to work. Let's do our work. God bless each and every one of you, and God bless this IAFF.